welcome to the Saturday show. Laughing at Fuzzball with Wookie. Actually, today it's not Wookie. It's my I'm James Sir Benson mom. Yes. No Nespa Hershey's.
With the same quality of eyesight.
Yes, I know, right?
No kidding on that one.
Hey, mine is a bet. So today we're talking about. Yeah, there we go. At least my audio works.
Oh wow! Ring. Does this
We love you, Bunny. I love you, Bunny.
You got me. You got me on that one.
That'd be some fighting talk.
I know, right?
After hundreds of shows, he got a shot in. All right.
Well, he is a slow learner.
Yes. Well, okay. Don't mind the pussycat. It's been fixed. Anyway, hey, we got Time Prophet in the chat and Papa Cotton. Welcome.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about.
Actually, I have that clip, by the way.
Oh, good. Yes, good. We're going to be talking about Murder by Death from 1976, a Neil Simon movie with an all-star cast. And it's kind of interesting how they got all these people together because most of the actors, the primary actors in this movie, have their own thing going on at the same time. So with TV or film, so it was a pretty good feat by Neil Simon to get these guys in.
Yeah.
So also like to welcome PCAT back to the show. Thanks for coming in.
No, thank you all. Thanks for the I guess the urging I needed to finally watch this movie, because when you said this is what you're going to be watching, I was like, oh, I know I have a copy buried somewhere that I've been meaning to watch for the past 20 years. And that I found it and loved it. And now I wish I would have watched this movie several times over the years.
Yeah, it's a classic. I didn't have a chance to check what it actually did in box office back then. It's been a crummy week for me. So I want to apologize ahead of time for all of those in the chat and those watching. The slides from me are not as great as I'd hoped because I had to download all the pictures from the internet and I had to find, I basically got what I found and that was it. Good, glorious YouTube would not allow me to either take screenshots from either my computer or my phone of the copy that they had in their movies. I also was not able to do any kind of screen recording either, so they blocked all of that. So good for YouTube. Nice.
I would also like to apologize to everyone. And also rag on YouTube because they wouldn't let me watch the film. Okay, Ron.
What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Well, you see, it was unavailable in my region for some reason. I could watch it if I paid for it.
Yeah, Papa Cotton in the chat. That's the one I was watching. That's the one I tried to screenshot. I tried screenshotting from my laptop or my computer, and I also tried from my my phone as well, and it blocked out the picture.
Wookie sent me the link. So.
Yeah.
Watching us YouTube. Trying to be capitalist.
What was that, the Bunny?
I could have got those for you.
Yeah. I tried to actually record it with some recording software, screen record, and it would not do it. It would just recorded the sound and the screen was black from that copy. I'm sure if I would have downloaded it for rent or buy, I'd have been able to do it. Oh, I did try to use AVC.
Pro version of YouTube.
Well, I tried to use AVC and it wouldn't work either. It got blocked.
I've got a copy of it. I've got a digital copy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Screenshot.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's how do you think I got all these clips over here? Huh?
That's like a large house, like a fat wife, hard to get around. Yes, I know, son. That dog is the painting sticking tongue out of the picture.
Cow
Always
on
a
wall.
lazy host.
Come on. Wait, what? ABC.
It's always a
AVC.
host.
AVC. Time Prophet. V.
Oh, good Lord.
AVC.
Well, there goes the
Oh.
stream. Time
There we
Prophet
go.
put up the
There we go.
racist.
Racist. Racist.
Racist.
Really?
Anyway,
We haven't criticized Disney Star Wars yet. How can we be racist?
It's implied.
implied. Wait. Bunny said something. What was that?
Are you white? Are you breathing? You're a racist.
Are you white and breathing?
Are you white? Are you breathing? You're racist. according to Disney.
I'm cream color.
I'm
also
pale.
a capitalist,
I'm Scottish.
too, so that
I'm
makes it
pale
worse.
blue.
I'm beige. Beige rights, damn it.
Oh,
Hey, I'm just happy I got a functioning frickin' air conditioner behind me right now.
You're more like a pale blue.
Pale.
That's me, Scottish. Pale blue.
Damn. Well, there you go.
So conversation is like television set on a honeymoon. Unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
That one cracked me up. Oh, somebody
know,
did.
Right? All right. Wait. Here.
Somebody's sleeping on the couch.
Somebody. No. When he's trying to talk to David Niven's character through the window, something about a mushroom, and his son just takes off.
Yeah.
You took off right in the middle of me mushroom story.
K-Ted.
K-Ted.
James Coco.
Oh, yeah.
Cheesy toupee.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
The overtop mustache.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the Paro portrayals, that's right on brand with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, especially
Yep.
when David Suchet came in and started
Yes.
doing it back
Well,
in '89.
This is way before Suchet. Peter Ustinov was who he was lampooning.
Yeah, but Ustinov's, you know what? Ustinov didn't dye his hair black. He had like gray.
Yes, but Murder
like,
on the Orient Express was a big movie right before.
No,
this
I
came
know.
out.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know. Albert Finney.
So what
also
are you
played
debating
Poirot.
me on?
He can't
I
help
don't know.
himself.
I have a better microphone than you.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
Gonna
I
ride
sense a
that
theme.
horse.
I sense a
Just
theme
gonna
running.
ride that horse.
So Peter Falk apparently, Time Prophet says he's wearing the same coat he wears in Columbo. You know what? I thought the same thing too. He's wearing his Columbo coat. Shit.
If you got to look, stick with it, right?
Right?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Truman Capote. I mean, you see what he's wearing in this scene. That's like how he dressed all the time.
Right.
I mean,
Pretty
that
much.
was just Truman Capote playing Truman Capote.
Yep.
Like literally, you know.
Either that or he's playing an overtop version of himself.
Yeah.
He was over the top. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. He was way
in
over
life.
the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, was this the only movie he was ever in? As far as I know, I think.
It might be.
Yeah.
And he's definitely, I believe, his first, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, for the longest
He did
time
a
when
lot
I
of
was
narration. He did a lot of narration, which is weird
Right.
considering how weird his voice was. You know.
Oh yeah. Wow. Have to check on that. But yeah, I always thought it was his movie as a kid or growing up in the 80s. I thought it was Truman Capote's movie.
Right.
But he was just part of the cast. He wasn't really, you know.
I think a lot of reason why he wasn't in film a lot. He was very conscientious of his image and stuff. So.
Yeah, I can understand that. But
One of those great lines, I think it was on Carson, where he talked about the greater the actor. He made the correlation on how the greater the actor, the lower the intelligence.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right. It was it. It may have been in response to Jane Fonda. He was asked something about Jane Fonda, and he made the correlation of the greater the actor, the lower the intelligence. I was like,
well, in that case,
he's been correct in that case.
In
That
that
was a good
case,
example.
that's a
bravo. Yep.
Brilliant on his part.
Good old Hanoi Jane.
Fuck Jane Fonda.
Yep.
Truman Capote.
Well,
So yeah,
considering that
this
this little weird man created an entire genre of fiction.
Yes.
You like true crime fiction?
yeah,
That dude created it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know
Cold
what's
Blood
funny?
was his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So here we've got James Cromwell and Richard Narita, the two kind of like unsung cast members of this kind of like, the supporting ancillary cast, kind of like the background. But James
If
Cromwell,
they hadn't played it straight, there wouldn't have been anything to like really play off of.
yeah,
No.
exactly. Both of them played it pretty much straight down the middle, except for with the Cromwell's cheesy French accent or whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, him and Narita just, I thought they did an excellent job. I mean, like I said before, Narita, after this movie, he was in a couple different movies after this that were pretty, up there for their time in the early 80s. But he primarily was either a guest appearances on different drama shows or
Magnum
soap
PI.
operas.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
in
on
Magnum
Magnum PI. Yep.
So
Um,
Cromwell was this his first major type of role or movie?
Yeah.
Because I know Cromwell, his father was one of the gentlemen that was blacklisted during the McCarthy hearings. On
I didn't have a chance to, honestly. I didn't have the opportunity to dig into him too much.
All right, let me look real quick.
Yeah, with everything that I had going on this week, and yesterday, I mean, I didn't get home until like 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So, and I was on the road since 6. So yeah. What the hell? Shadowpunk. This
Yeah,
is a
hello,
review of the old
Shadowpunk.
movie. Yes. Cromwell as a commie psycho. Just
Yeah, he is now. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Like his father.
Yeah, he-
McCarthy
Yes,
was right.
yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Funny how that
Good actor, though.
everybody
He,
was against it,
Murder by
and now
Death.
it's like it's coming true.
Yeah.
But he was an extra in a movie called Daddy Longlegs in '55. But Murder by Death was his first named role in '76.
I see.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then he did Chief Detective 2 years later, which was also Detective.
Oh, you did. He was in the Chief Detective with Falk, huh?
All right. Okay.
Nice.
Which was in the same vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So we have the ending.
The big reveal.
Yeah, the big reveal. So the Wang walks in and catches him, and his son is behind him with the snake wrapped around his neck. Nice shot, Pop. Oh shit!
I
And
thought
then you
what
get
preceded, the stuff that preceded all that was great too. How each
Yeah.
one was being.
Jeez,
I
yeah.
have to say, for a comedy, it had a great tension level too, as you weren't sure how this was going to work out. Because it was my first time watching this the other day, so I had no knowledge of any of what was going to happen, and I was on edge, like I didn't want anybody to die because they were all hysterical. And I was like, oh no. And you're thinking that they're all dead, and then one by one, they just all reveal, like, all right, you know that they're all going to be alive, and they slowly have their own reveal on who did it, and each one is more ludicrous than the next.
I know, right?
But this
Exactly.
Is,
Right.
This is kind of like a example of that, right quick. Here you go.
That's funny.
Oh man, that's classic.
So yeah, there were actual stakes in this one, yeah.
So the thing is that at this end, you really see the genius that was Alec Guinness when he transitioned from character to character to character in this. I like to be called Rita.
Yeah.
And then he takes off the mask and it's Truman Capote, and he goes around and just lampoons every single one of their writing styles.
Right.
Yeah.
Like impossible, blah 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 blah. It just goes off on every single one of them. Joe McCarthy when you need it. Yeah, no kidding.
No
Right?
shit.
Yeah. Mr. Sci-Fi, how's it going?
Hello.
Talking about
No.
Murder
Shadow
by
Punk.
Death.
Joe McCarthy's still around. He's just working for the other side now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I really was
Well, one thing, the reason why Truman Capote agreed to be in this is because he hated hack writing, and
Yes.
all of these writers were like known for churning out fiction, and so
yeah.
Breaking out books.
they would keep the same right. They would keep the same character, and they would just churn out these books. They're like pulp writers, you know.
Yeah, like
Right.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's
and
got two of her characters in this, a knockoffs of her characters with Perrier as, knocking off Perot and Marbles as
And
Miss
so when he
Marple.
was asked to be it, so this is the reason why he decided to be in this movie is because he hated these people, and
Well,
anything
yeah.
that was going to make fun of them, he wanted to be on there.
Yeah.
That was he basically that was pretty much off script. That was just him like riffing off of all these
Right.
god awful characters.
Well, I mean, these writers, a lot of these writers that he was, ripping into, they had a template that they followed, and they didn't deviate from it. So the writing has kind of gotten predictable over the years. You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, like
And
Mickey Spillane.
Mickey Spillane, you
Mhm.
know,
You know, shit.
Well, Sam Spade was Dashiell Hammett, I think.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But yeah, so all these people were made millionaires off of these throwaway books, basically. And Truman Capote, he put out like one piece of work every 5 years or something.
right.
And it might even be a short story, but he like crafted these things to be just absolutely perfect before he would release them to the market. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he was just jealously guarded all of his writing, and so to these people, these people were disgusting in his eyes. Okay,
Yes.
he utterly and completely hated these kind of characters, and so when he was asked by his friend to be in this thing, he's like, only if I can write my own dialogue,
There you go.
and so that whole thing about say your pronouns, Steve.
Yeah.
You know, that was Truman Capote. You know, that was
Yeah.
him writing his own stuff. You know. But,
Yep. I like
but all these actors agreed to be in this because Neil Simon was just his name was like, you know, and the from we're talking from stage to screen.
Right.
Yeah.
If
Neil
Neil Simon
Simon,
asked
yeah.
you to be in something, you were there. Okay.
Good
Yeah.
writer and director.
Well, you look, I mean, you have the talent like David Niven and Peter Sellers. Like I said before, Peter Sellers was in the middle of the Pink Panther fame.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and Alec Guinness, who's an Academy Award winner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Bridge over the River Kwai. He was right
Yeah.
off the bridge over
Yep.
the River Kwai.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. David
But if
Niven.
Neil Simon says, "Hey, you want to be in this thing?" Oh, yep. Okay, when and where?
Yeah,
Hell and
exactly.
yes.
Yep. I mean, you look at it's like Elsa Lancaster, who played Miss Marples. I mean, she was a top rated name.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and Brennan, the blonde, her too. She was had her name out there, and then Nancy Walker, which is funny because she didn't utter a word in this whole freaking movie.
No.
And she was on like top bill on a lot of sitcoms and stuff like that. She did
Well, she
mostly
was in-
comedy.
She was in the sitcom. What was that one with the waitresses? Was it Alice?
No, not Alice.
No, she wasn't in Alice.
She wasn't in that actually.
No, she wasn't in Alice. But I think I can't remember.
I think she was in the movie version or something like that. Something similar.
Maybe, but she was on a
She was
sitcom.
known
I
for
can't
her
remember.
voice.
Yes.
Yeah,
She was,
that's why she didn't make.
She was known for her voice.
Yeah, and she didn't say a freaking word in the whole movie till the very end.
And see,
She didn't even
But
speak.
But then you had
but every
Dame
time I see-
Maggie Smith. So
yeah.
let me play this right quick.
The one thing I like throughout the whole movie is that, except toward the end, but the majority of the scenes that David Niven was in, he always had a drink in his hand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
nice.
Or a cigarette.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Nick and Nora Charles. That was their whole thing, you know. They're
Yeah.
always and
Well,
that
it's funny
dry
with-
deadpan delivery, that lack of emotional. That was Nick and Nora Charles. That's William Powell and Myrna Loy.
Yeah.
Made those.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie Smith, pretty much known for being in Harry Potter to the current generation of kids, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh yeah.
Well, this was right fresh off of Travels with My Aunt, which won her I think a BAFTA or something, and so
Right.
she was flying high when she came to this movie. So
Right.
none of these people were on the downside of their career. Most
No.
of them were like at
They
the height
were-
of their fame.
Oh,
No.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the principal characters in this, they were, like you said, they were all top billed people. You know,
Yeah.
Peter Falk was doing Columbo, you know, that was in production at the time. Peter Sellers, like I said, he was doing the Pink Panther movies. David Niven, you know, doing movies, still a top billed actor, the name. I mean, I don't know when the last time Peter Sellers and David Niven were together in a movie. The only one I can think of is the original Pink Panther movie.
Yeah, and that was the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the 60s.
And I don't know why or how Peter Sellers has never won an Academy Award. I mean, he's been close. I mean, even he did his final film being there.
Well,
Good
Kubrick
God.
won.
Yeah.
Kubrick won for Doctor Strangelove, and
Yeah.
Sellers didn't get nominated. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They actually
that
hated
was a
Peter
good movie.
Sellers. The Oscar voters did not like
The-
Peter Sellers. And the reason why is because he lived outside the system. Peter Sellers did not bow to anyone. He did what
That's good.
He did. He
Yeah.
took whatever project he wanted to do, and he zigged when he should have zagged, and he not attend these Hollywood parties, and he was not part of the Good Old Boy Network. But he was so damn good that they had to give him these roles because he's the only one that could play them.
Well,
And,
being there was funny.
Being
as
there.
shit.
The end of that movie, if you've not seen it, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, ah!
Yep.
Where
Great
it's kind of revealed that he's actually smarter than he appears.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you ever see The
that
Party?
Yep.
What's that? PCAT?
The Party that he made, the movie The Party with Peter Sellers.
No, I don't think I haven't.
I'll have to look that
Well,
up.
he evidently he made a lot of stuff that like poked fun at people that you really don't want to poke fun at.
Like, satirical.
It's very satirical stuff, and if he found somebody pretentious, he would basically make a project that to poke the shit out of him. And,
Good. We need more people like that.
Yes. Especially now.
we used to in Hollywood, there were people like that.
Back in the day, yeah.
Which I've already showed, but okay. At least you got a good mic.
No, we have Hershey's.
Hershey's.
So here you have at the end when they're all taken off. The funny part about it was leading up to this shot is when Truman Capote's like, "I will have all of your bills ready." Pay on
Man, they were out of there quick.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They hauled ass. And then the mask comes off from Truman Capote, and you see that it's Nancy Walker's character, and then all you hear is a laugh. A
Yeah.
laugh, you know.
Yeah.
And,
That Nancy Walker laugh, that scotch and cigarettes laugh that she had.
oh
Mhm.
God.
What she was
Funny as
known
hell.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which she shouldn't be able to do if she was actually mute. And so that was like
Yeah.
a big reveal too. So
Well, I'm kind of wondering if that was part of the whole deal. Is it could have been she could have been actually playing the role of the sister.
yeah.
Because they did mention at the beginning, you know, Diamond and the other gal were talking on the drive, mentioned that he had a sister. That was a whole funny conversation. I got busted at the border for trying to smuggle in rich white people to pick melons in Mexico. And I'm like, he was, he got selling pornographic Bibles to the churches.
I've got at least part of it. Here you go.
The part I liked too was when he was they were lambasting everybody in the sitting room, and she starts talking about, he was being gay bars for 6 months. I was undercover, and then he walks up to her and he goes, "Bitch."
Walks out of the room.
That was the funniest. Bitch.
I wouldn't do anything with a man that I wouldn't do with a woman.
I know.
That's right. Made you think, huh?
Well,
so what's he saying?
So, folks, if you haven't guessed by now, this movie is basically nonstop, wall to wall, just hilarity.
Oh God! Every scene,
every line, you can watch it 30 times and you'll come up with something different every time.
Oh yeah, exactly.
There was another one. Do you guys remember one that was like making fun of like TV detectives? Somebody started killing off all these TV style detectives. I can never remember the name of it. I remember seeing it, years and years ago. But it's like all these TV style detectives, and somebody's like killing them off, and they're like trying to get up, and it's like similar to Murder by Death. Anybody remember? Anybody remember that?
No.
I know I saw it. All right. I'll figure it out.
I do.
But this is Neil Simon at his best. This is Neil Simon, one of the top writers of all time.
Oh yeah.
And director and stage. He did it all.
Well, you have the and you look at like an actor like James Coco. It was primarily a character actor. I mean, he played so many varying roles. Same with Alec Guinness, was more of a character actor. Especially, he proved that at the end of this movie when he was going back and forth with these guys. Oh, you're like so-and-so Metzger. And he'd change his voice and stance and walk around. Kind of like a Patrick Troughton. And I loved Patrick Troughton in Doctor Who. He's probably one of my favorite actors, the way he played it. But, the character actor type role, it just seems like you have more talent. They have more talent, or they have more creativity. It's just someone that keeps playing the same old shit all the time. You see Tom Cruise in a movie, it's Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise.
Right.
In my opinion. Whereas
character actors are always have the longest filmographies, like Ernest Borgnine. Look at his filmography, or somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
And they're chameleons. They can whatever role they need to fill in, they can fill in. And they have longer careers than these the stars do. Now, if you see, occasionally you see a star go into the background and become a character actor and extend their career, but most of them don't have that kind of power or ability to do that.
Oh yeah.
They can play with ease. You have heroes and villains, and you don't look at him and say, "Oh, I only see Ernest Borgnine as a hero. I only see Ernest Borgnine as a villain." You just see him in whatever role he's in. You get immersed in the role. He could be a villain that you want to see get his ass kicked in Bad Day at Black Rock, but then you see him in another movie, and you're like, you love the guy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Bad Day at Black Rock versus the Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
I mean,
From Heat of Eternity. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
We weren't alive when it came out, but you talk to older people and they tell you how they despised him because of what he did to Frank Sinatra, who was the big idol back then.
Yeah.
So he was a villainous, and people hated him. Like, they truly hated him back then because of what he did. In the movie, that shows you he was a great actor.
Yeah. And then he was great in his own show, McHale's Navy. I mean, he was funny and everything else. And, the funny thing is that was his background. He was in the United States Navy in World War II. So he was a Navy guy, played a Navy guy. So, He had a good. Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Yeah, great.
He's
great
good.
point.
He's one of my favorite. I loved it when he played Dr. Smith. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Uh, but yeah, it's
Well, one thing about all of these actors in this, all of these actors had that versatility. All of them could play background, or they could play the lead character, and they could switch between. So what you had in this cast is you had people that could disappear into the background, or they could, move up to the front, but they knew how to support the person on front because all of them were staged. All of these guys came from the stage, okay, and because of that, Neil Simon knew that he could basically write whatever wacky thing that he wanted to write, and these people could roll with it,
Yep.
And that allowed him to he didn't have to worry about the limitations of his actors, and when you don't have to worry about the limitations of your actors, you can just go all the way to the wall.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that's one of the problems with the script writing now is that you have the actors that you have to work with are so limited. Not only the writer's limited, but the actors are limited, and so even if you write something good, there's no way to bring it out to the screen because the actors are all there's no system in place in America that takes actors from the lowest levels, goes through the stage play all the way up to the top. They just pick these people to come all the way to the top.
Yeah, and
they're not seasoned. They're not experienced. They don't have any kind of ensemble experience, and then they shove them into these projects, and they bring in these very good actors from other countries and stuff, and it just shows like an Acolyte right now. The few actors that have experience. I mean, but they're talking about the Korean actor that came over and learned English for this role, and every single review I've seen has said he's good. Everything else is shit, but he's good.
Well, you look at the Hugh Jackman when he did the first X-Men movie.
Right.
He wasn't known to the American audience at all.
No.
And here he's got the biggest part in the movie.
Yep. Well, Christopher,
when he comes into view in that cage and his back is to you, everybody in the theater around me said, "That's him. That's him."
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
You know it was him. You know it was Wolverine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Christopher Lee had said something about the same that you had said, T Bunny, on some interview. Whereas that the actors, the modern actors, they come in and they're thrust. They don't really have any experience doing any other roles or anything like that per se. They're not seasoned, or they're not. They didn't start out at the bottom to how things work and learning things. They were just thrust into fame, into some major role. They get their millions, but they fizzle out in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. They're gone, and that's why.
Mm-hmm. He did say that. I've seen the interview.
Who's to argue with Christopher Lee, especially when he tells Peter Jackson how a man dying is supposed to sound?
Right. Well, that movie, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Supposedly, Christopher Lee's war career is part of that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because he did a lot of the stuff like this, like OSS kind of stuff, behind the scenes and spy stuff and stuff like that. So he knows how a guy is supposed to sound when he dies, and he knows all these things. And
but he never admits to any of that. And if you ask him, I've seen interviews where he just got up and walked off.
Right.
Fucking guy they're having a good conversation about something, and the guy asks him a specific question, and he just says, "Thank you very much," and he leaves. If that much.
Well, the story of it is there's a deleted scene from the Lord of the Rings that later was in the extended versions, okay?
Yeah.
And this was also in the original Tolkien books, where Grima Wormtongue stabs Saruman in the back, okay? Mm-hmm. And murders them, basically. And they sought that scene, and Peter Jackson ask Christopher Lee to do it a different way. And he said, and Christopher Lee's like, no, that's the way someone sounds like when you stab them in the back.
Hmm.
And Peter Jackson said, okay.
Exactly. Okay. You know, I mean,
how he knew.
you look at this. Christopher Lee spoke fluent Italian, German,
Mm-hmm.
French,
Mm-hmm.
English, of course, and there might have been another language in there. He
Mhm.
knew how to
A few.
fence. And for some reason, the prop of that of the gun that was in Man with the Golden Gun, the James Bond movie, went missing shortly after the wrap of the film.
Key.
And
Really?
and Roger Moore, someone asked Roger Moore about it, and he says, "Well, maybe you should ask Christopher Lee." Apparently, they never found it. They never found that.
But
The prop.
no, he said you should ask Christopher Lee, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
The interesting Christopher Lee story. You talk about his war background. When they made the movie The Longest Day, he wanted to be in it, or he wanted a part, and he was turned down because they said, "Oh, you don't look like what a World War II veteran looks like." So the guy only was in World War II, fought in World War II, did Daredevil and secret missions, but he quote didn't look like a World War II, how a World War II veteran should look.
Combat vet, you know.
Combat vet, yes, yeah.
Yep. Well, it's funny because
I'm sure knowing Christopher Lee, he would probably be like, and what are they supposed to look like, dear boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Have you seen one?
You could be standing across from a murderer and you wouldn't know it now, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because here you have, there's one funny note here. The movie 1941, okay, had Christopher Lee and Toshiro Mifune playing, World War II types. Christopher Lee spoke all German in this movie the whole friggin' time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it just rattled off, just came out like nothing, like it was a native tongue.
With no accent, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
With no accent, by the way.
Yeah. And the fact that you had two World War II veterans who were Axis allies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Axis allies played in the movie. You've got Toshiro Mifune, who was from Japan, who actually was I think he was a trainer of some kind, training either pilots or something like that. And Christopher Lee, who was, in doing dirty deeds, and stuff like that back in the day, probably in North Africa, against the Axis. So you had two guys who were former, enemies now are standing together on screen playing a classic, comedy movie. But it just intrigued me when I saw the whole movie. Christopher Lee, it was like fluent, just came out like he was any other German actor,
Right.
Just came out like nothing.
Sutherland, who just recently died.
Great actor.
I mean, it was 88, right? But he could do that. He could switch between background to forward, and no matter, depending on what he needed to do. But he played one of the best German spies, and it's called the Eye of the Needle, and it's about a man that kind of washes up. He kind of washes up on a British island, and he's like mysterious. He supposedly has no memory or whatever, and just starts hooking up with this widow, and she figures out who he is, so that he's actually a German spy. But he switches it on, from like befuddled and kind of like but he kills like multiple people in this movie, and he had like an ice pick, which is that's how he got the name the Needle, where he would kill people with this ice pick, but he would switch it on. And if you want to watch something truly terrifying, watch this guy go from genteel to murderer in like a blink of an eye.
Right.
Yep.
And if you want a master class of acting, we're talking about that, but that takes decades and of being like able to do that. My friend Craig, Drunk Craig, we call him. He was on this. He did this show. He was an actor for years and years and years, and they wanted to transform him to an older man with makeup, and he's like, "Well, why do you need makeup?" He said, "I can do it," And so every night he would go on that stage, and he was supposed to like transform from a younger man to an older man, to an old man, and you would watch him, and he would transform right in front of your eyes. It freaked people out every time they saw him do this, but his shoulders would slump, and if you watch an actual actor that knows what they're doing at work, it's night and day. It is night and day. R.I.P. Donald Sutherland. But at the end of the Body Snatchers, if that doesn't steal your blood at the end of the Body Snatchers.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Because up to that moment you think he's human, and then all of a sudden he does that, and you're like, holy crap. I mean, that was a gotcha moment,
Yeah.
I think my favorite role with Donald Sutherland, and there's two of them, I think, for me, is in Kelly's Heroes Oddball, and then and in MASH when he played Hawkeye Pierce.
Yeah, the movie.
Yep.
Stop with the negative waves, Moriarty. Come on,
man.
With the negative waves.
A good later role.
Why do you want a tiger, man? That leaks oil everywhere.
A good later role is like Space Cowboys,
Yeah. That was a good movie.
That also had James Cromwell in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking, Bob, and I'm only getting older.
And Tommy Lee Jones and Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I like how he memorized the eye chart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Memorize the eye chart.
Yeah.
Wasn't
memorize the art.
was it Eastwood's son in that movie?
No.
Who played the younger version of Clint Eastwood? I thought it was his son.
Was it Toby Stevens? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I don't think it was his son.
Let me look it up.
He does have a son that kind of looks like him. So,
a dead ringer for him, as when he's younger.
Yeah.
Dead ringer of it. Dead ringer.
Yeah, I think the guy that played his son was the villain from Die Another Day. You got the actor's name right. Yeah.
Toby Stevens.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was thinking,
Yeah.
He's in Black Sails. I've got that.
Yes. That's a good series.
Yeah. Time Prophet.
Yes, he
His
is.
son is also a musician. Cool.
His name's
So is Clint.
Scott Eastwood, I think.
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah.
Scott and Kyle. Yeah, Kyle's the
Scott
older
Eastwood
one.
Would tell you that his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Eastwood would tell you he's never given him a role.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Should do a remake or a whatever with him as Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
There are some photo shots that he did where he looks just like Clint Eastwood in the 60s.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, back like in his Rawhide days and spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Identical.
I've seen
It's
some of that.
identical. It's
Yep.
uncanny.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff. Good cinema back in the 60s, especially with those Sergio Leone movies. Holy shit. Was it Eli Wallach? Eli Wallach and Clint Eastwood both said that Sergio Leone almost got him killed in that railroad scene when it exploded.
They blew up the bridge. Yeah.
The bridge. And they were really running for their freaking lives too, man.
Yeah.
They were hauling ass.
Well, there was also the bit where Eli Wallach is lying down and the train's going past. Because there was like a ledge or something on the train that stuck out and it almost hit his head.
Almost got
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Well, the funny
that.
thing
Sergio
about
Leone. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say that Sergio Leone didn't want Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood was not his first choice in those movies. He wanted James Coburn,
Oh.
and Coburn wanted too much money,
Ooh.
and so he got Eastwood on the cheap.
Yeah, because he was
How
just
did that
coming
work
off
out?
Yeah, he was just coming off of Rawhide, I think, too.
Yeah.
Eastwood. So
Bronson too. That he
Well,
wanted for the
Sergio
role
Leone
before
had
Eastwood.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
Bronson. But he finally got
Well,
Bronson
Sergio
in
Leone
the Once Upon a Time in the West, which is a friggin' awesome movie.
Yeah.
I have it over there.
Yeah.
Well, Sergio Leone had this trick that he would pull, right? When he would do something like really dangerous, and the actors would like balk on him. He would like, "Excuse me, and English not first language," you know. Like, we know you know English. We know you know English, you asshole. They said basically he would claim that he didn't quite speak English, that there was a language barrier there, and they're like,
Well-
no, you know, but he would like, it was like a swinging scale, depending on how mad you were at him is how much English he understood,
But
If
it's funny.
you were different, so.
Yeah, Sergio Leone was such a freaking stickler for authenticity that in that Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the scene where they've got the battlefield, the Civil War battlefield, and there's set shots of him walking around on the set, on location, with this book, an illustration of actual photos that were taken of, a battlefield.
Akira
Civil
Kurosawa.
War. It was a historical book.
Yeah.
And he walked around and was
he stole,
making sure everybody
stole
was
scenes.
looking correct.
Yeah, he
Well,
stole
what was
scenes
that?
from Akira Kurosawa, though. He
he-
stole almost his entire career from Kurosawa.
Oh, yeah. All those movies were, I mean, those are all from Kurosawa. But I'm saying with Leone, with that battle scene, him walking around with that book, there's a picture of it. And he was walking around the battle scene and with all the Civil War soldiers and trying to make sure that they looked authentic to historical correct, and that's kind of how much of a stickler he was.
Well, the opening scene to Once Upon a Time in America,
In the West.
that opening scene, that first 10 minutes, that opening scene where not a word is spoken, not a word of dialogue is spoken, wasn't done before and hasn't been done since. It's probably the greatest opening to a movie ever.
The harmonica.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the harmonica, yeah.
Birds, the train.
The fly on Jack
The
Elam
fly.
just running around on his face,
Yep.
Supposedly, the three actors that they wanted for that railroad scene, the opening scene that Bronson blows away. Originally, they wanted the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly actor. They wanted Eastwood, they wanted Wallach, and they wanted Lee Van Cleef to be the three waiting at the train station. That would have been a fun sort of little moment where you see it, like, especially for a guy like Clint Eastwood at that point, who was just really starting to explode globally. Him just being in a short movie, getting blown away quickly.
I know,
right?
Really,
But and then you got what's the guy's name? Abby, you know the guy's name, the black guy that was in that scene.
I can't remember his name.
I don't know, it's Sonny or Smokey or something like that. I forgot, but the part where
the John Wayne movie with Jimmy Stewart.
Liberty Valance. No, not.
Yeah, it was in Liberty Valance.
Sons of Liberty Valance, wasn't it?
Yeah, the scene where he
Woody Strode.
takes his, there you go. There you go. Woody Strode. Yeah. He takes his hat off and sips the freaking water off the brim of his hat. That's all ad-libbed.
That's right.
That whole scene, all those guys with everything, Eli Wallach's response to the fly, the Woody Strode, all that was all ad-libbed. And the one guy, the third guy, I think he's the guy that committed suicide after that scene. He jumped out of a hotel room in the costume. Off, I don't know how many stories he was up. And Sergio Leone was only concerned about getting the costume back.
Oh, fuck.
But if you want to talk about actual badasses, so Charles Bronson was a complete badass.
He was.
Being one on
yes,
screen.
he was.
Well, the thing is, though, when he did The Great Escape, He was a tunnel rat in The Great Escape. He was also in World War II. And what did he do in World War II?
Really?
He was a tunnel rat in World War II. So much so that he had a phobia of being in, tight surroundings. And when he was doing the scenes in The Great Escape, it triggered him, and he was almost having a meltdown on set.
But tunnel rats.
They added that into the film.
I think so.
But tunnel rats were the baddest ass warriors that we've ever had in American history. Those guys, they went down in the worst situations, and they were monsters. Okay,
right.
To do that, the mental ability to go down there in the hole after Vietnamese, like that in Vietnam or Japanese and
yeah.
I mean that took a different breed, man. That took a different breed of man, and so Charles Bronson was nobody to mess with, on set or off. I mean,
also in Once Upon a Time in the West, you had, a guy who'd never rarely played a villain, Henry Fonda. When he plays a villain, good Lord, it's scary.
He played soft all the way up to that movie, but when he became the blue eyes,
I was waiting to say it's those piercing blue eyes. Yeah.
He wanted to wear contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Leone goes, no, and we need to see the blue eye, the Henry Fonda trademark blue eyes.
They darkened him up. They tanned him pretty good too.
God,
yeah.
And it just accentuated those blue eyes.
Oh yeah.
He was such a son of a bitch.
The first thing you see him do is like brutally murder somebody.
Yeah,
the first thing you see him do is brutally
a kid.
murder
a kid. Yeah.
And
I remember seeing
like,
that was
wait
sick.
just a second.
Yep.
He was sick. Yeah. He was projecting his own self on him.
I ever cheered for getting murdered.
Right.
It's the first villain I ever went, yes.
There you go.
What I love about that ending is there's too many movies where you get a revenge moment, and sometimes the guy that's getting killed doesn't know why. But in this, when he slams that harmonica in his mouth, and then you see him looking, and he had that flashback scene, and he knows exactly why he's getting it. It's like the inverse, which is, as much as I love the Eastwood movie, High Plains Drifter.
Yeah.
The villains, especially at the end, he doesn't know who's killing him. So he's getting revenge, Eastwood. But the guy, his last moments are, who are you? So he has no idea. I would have loved, even if he didn't say it out loud, if he would have whispered it in his ear, and then he gives like that look, and he looks up and like, that shit look. So at least the character would have known why he's getting killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least in like Pale Rider,
Yes.
when Stockwell looked at him in the eye.
Oh yeah,
like,
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could at least have that moment,
Yeah.
But
Yep.
well,
Still a great movie though.
this is what cinema was so damn good, guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, these new generation that are defending this bullshit, you're like, you don't know how far we've come down.
Yeah.
I remember
something before 2 years ago.
Remember, I was 7 years old. I was at my grandmother's house, and my uncle, who was like in his mid-20s at the time, he let me watch the Wild Bunch with him when I was 7 years old.
Nice.
And I didn't think anything about it. I just thought we were watching a Western, because at that point, you watch John Wayne. It's like John Wayne, but this is the Wild Bunch. It's a little different, It's not John Wayne.
Peck and paw.
Peck and paw, and there's blood everywhere. And
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, great movie.
Well, I was about 5 years old when I first saw The Cowboys.
Yes.
I saw John Wayne take a shot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
By Bruce Dern.
And I remember the day. I remember when it happened. Bruce Dern. That wasn't supposed to happen. It only happened in 2 movies of John Wayne. Only 2 movies he ever got killed in. And that was one of them.
Iwo Jima.
There was a documentary about that. And
he got killed in the
shootist.
No, he got killed.
Hey, I was going for a point, Wookie.
Oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, Shootist and Sands of Iwo Jima too. Yeah.
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 No, but Bruce
Oh,
Wayne.
I'm sorry,
Bruce
Iwo
Dern's
Jima. I forgot
side
The Alamo. The
and
Alamo.
says, you know, you're gonna get.
Yeah.
People
He
are gonna
died, but
hate
everybody
you.
died in the Alamo.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh well.
This is an underrated comment. This is me. This is you. This is why I'm killing you now. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You guys know the story,
Anyway,
the Bruce Dern, John Wayne story, right? The famous story about before they were going to shoot the his death scene in the Cowboys.
I
No.
haven't seen that film. I don't
No.
think.
Tell us.
So apparently Wayne took him aside and he told him, he goes, "You realize after when people see this scene, you're going to be hated. You're going to be the most hated man in America." And Dern goes, "Yeah, but the kids on Berkeley at Berkeley are going to love me," which was perfect.
Yeah. Kids of Berkeley.
the best movie that no one ever talks about that Bruce Dern was ever in was Nebraska. If you have not seen Nebraska, make sure you watch that. It's a simple story about a man who is basically trying to deal with his father's dementia, and he takes him on a trip because his father believes that this thing that he received in the mail was like real, and that's like a sweepstakes or whatever thing, and he's determined that he wants to go see it or wants to cash his thing in, and his son kind of knows it's like there's nothing to it, but he goes on this journey with his father, and they go back to the hometown on the way, and it's one of the most brilliant things that I've ever seen. The ending on it, if it doesn't get the ending on it, it's just absolute. And Bruce Dern does all his acting is in his eyes, because this is a man that supposedly like got dementia. Okay, and
Okay.
so and there's a time where he takes him back to the old homestead, and he walks through, and this conversation they have, and he's like, you can tell he's living in that past. He's living in that, but he doesn't say anything because he's really he's kind of almost nonverbal, and so he's not actually saying anything, but you can see it in his eyes. And the whole entire movie, he might have like 13 or 14 lines of dialogue. This whole entire movie, and it's just absolute genius. I can't remember the name of the director, but he's one of a really great modern director. But that movie should have won an Oscar. It should have won an Oscar. I think it was up for Best Picture.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, Nebraska. Watch Nebraska. So
I've heard of it. I have not
I
seen it.
think it rings a bell. I haven't seen it though.
Yeah.
he's not lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not lying.
And they're
Everything's
filming in
shot
Canada because it's cheaper in Canada.
Everything's shot in Canada.
Yeah. It's because it's
Yeah.
cheaper. For some reason, it's cheaper.
Yep. The subways are always
watch
nice
anything
too
from
when they
Sci-Fi
film in
Channel-
Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. BCAT, you should know the
If you watch
subway.
anything on the Sci-Fi Channel,
They're
you're gonna
nothing
recognize
like what they
Vancouver.
show in the movies, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can recognize Vancouver if you ever go through there from all the sci-fi shows. You know.
Yeah, they filmed that Jackie Chan movie, Rumble in the Bronx,
Oh.
over in
Oh
Canada.
wow, really?
Yeah,
The mountains in the
I've
Bronx.
seen that.
I know, right? Yeah. In the Bronx.
As a
Yeah,
kid, one of the first times it hit me was, I don't know if you guys remember one of those TV Hulk movies. Was it Trial of the Incredible Hulk?
Oh,
Supposed to be in New York City.
Yeah.
So there's a sequence early on in the subway, and I remember I was a little kid, and my dad was watching me. He goes, "Where's this take place?" I go, "New York City." He goes, "That ain't New York City. How do you know? Look at the subways." That was the first thing that stood out.
Look at the
Nice,
subway.
clean, pristine subways.
Right. Yeah. Not all vandalized and
Yeah, it's an extraordinarily clean New York City. It's
trash.
extraordinarily
Yep.
clean. There's a scene early on where he's in an alleyway, and there's like plenty of space in that alleyway, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
that's right.
I think the best PCAT. You ever watch the TV show with Gabe Kaplan, Welcome Back, Kotter?
Yes, right off the bat, you see those graffiti laid subways.
But that whole opening segment was so authentic because it's real. You
Yep.
know, and I remember back in the day as a kid, you'd watch shows like Streets of San Francisco, and they were shot in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, you saw the vandalism and the graffiti and stuff like that. You know, around. But everything's filmed. You know, they don't want that anymore. They don't want it reality. They don't film it in Vancouver.
There would be nothing but piles of crap on the.
Yeah. Now they wouldn't be able to film.
They're not able to film there now. Gotta watch out where you gotta get the shit map and make sure you avoid stepping and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Was it like the first 5 seasons, I think? Because I know they eventually moved to California to accommodate Duchovny, but then he left the show. Well, he left it being a full-time actor. I think a year after they moved the location to appease him.
Yeah. Yep. So, hey, PCAT, is there any more filming over there? Like people I know that they filmed out in, they used to film, or they claimed to film in like Central Park and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the Law and Order shows are all filmed there. I give them credit. Yeah. I can't watch them anymore, but they film there. Certain shows too will film. Like it's not on the air anymore, but when they had CSI New York?
Oh yeah,
I think they would get a handful of days a season where they would come and shoot a whole bunch of New York locations and then shoot the rest in California.
Yeah.
Same with but even some of the shows that were like the classic shows of the 70s, like Kojak, he would have a handful of episodes where they would be in New York, but most of it you could see was on a cheesy Universal Studios lot in California.
Yeah, back lot in Universal. Yeah. Kojak. Who loves you, baby?
Yep. Classic.
I know, right? Holy shit.
Well,
where the hell did they film?
Like they used to.
Where did they film the Dukes of Hazzard at?
Was it Georgia?
Dukes of Hazzard was actually filmed in Tennessee, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It was actually filmed. That and I think later years they moved it to set in like California. But early on, the first season was definitely in Tennessee area because they have like a festival in Tennessee where that takes you through some of the places where they shot scenes.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't know.
Rest of it was on a sound stage like in California, I think. But
did you ever notice on that show? It didn't dawn on me until I got older. There are never any scenes of the General Lee driving at night. There's not one scene of the headlights on the General Lee in operation.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched that. I've got most of the seasons, I think.
Yeah, maybe in the first season you might have 1 or 2 at night, but as far as the General Lee, you never see it. It's always daytime for the General Lee. Throughout 90%.
Maybe you see it parked, somewhere outside.
Yeah.
The club or
weren't
something.
There like 11 of those things made for the show?
At least, probably. God knows how many they destroyed.
They just destroyed the shit out of them.
They've ran through so many Chargers. So many Chargers that model year is actually rare now.
Yeah.
They went through a lot. They went through a lot of them.
Well, I mean, look at the jumps that they were making.
I think John Snyder's got one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I wouldn't doubt it. Snyder's loaded. So.
Oh yeah.
Some good cars in the 70s. Yeah, Starsky and Hutch with Gran Torino.
God, Torino,
Red and white,
Always
Did
one
you know
of those.
Did you know Catherine Bach won that role because she was supposed to be wearing jean shorts, and she's like, "Give me some scissors," and she basically walked in with that. She created those.
Dukes. Daisy Dukes.
She basically made cut off shorts into a bikini bottom.
Yeah.
And, so that didn't have any acting acumen whatsoever. Had no background, but she walks in with those shorts, and they're like,
"Yep,
that's right."
Yeah, she kind of didn't need any acting.
She makes an entrance even when she's exiting the scene.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. She made an impact. She made an impact.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
The first time you see her, she's leaning over a car.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
Or was it her Jeep? I can't remember. Was it her Jeep?
You know, and now
Yeah, I think she got a Jeep. Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it was her
marketing.
Jeep. Yeah.
That's marketing, baby. That's America. That's the American way.
the
Oh,
Jeep
yeah.
was actually the second episode. So. Yeah, the Jeep, they wrecked her car. Her car was originally a Challenger, Dodge Challenger, but then they went over a cliff with that. And she got the Jeep in the second episode.
Was it a Challenger?
I may or may not have watched.
Was it a Challenger or a
I believe it
Roadrunner?
was a Challenger. It was yellow
Okay.
with the black stripe. I think it's Challenger.
Yeah. Okay.
I could be wrong.
Then she got the Jeep.
I remember my uncle had that very car.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, she got the Jeep right after that.
Yeah, the white Jeep with the
He didn't
eagle
keep
on the,
it long.
on the
He
bonnet.
he swapped cars all the time. Sorry, I come from like, Dukes of Hazzard land, so I'm right where I'm right in that audience. So.
Time Prophet in the chat. Don't you think it's strange they called the General Lee? They called the car the General Lee, but they didn't color it gray.
They didn't color it red either. It was actually an orange.
Like an orange
It's
color.
yeah, orange with the Confederate flag on the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I always loved that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic.
So good.
Iconic car.
Awesome.
Yeah. The funny thing is back in the day, they had cars that kind of were iconic to the times and the show. Do we see any of that stuff now? I mean, like
Not
Magnum PI had the freaking Ferrari,
Mhm.
A-Team had the van,
Mm-hmm.
Knight Rider had the car, then you got the Dukes of Hazzard,
Well,
you
Magnum,
got the Rockford Files, he's got the freaking Firebird.
Yeah.
I was waiting to say. I was waiting to say there. Miami Vice had two Ferraris. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Abby
Well,
beat
the
me to it
Daytona
there.
was the one that I liked.
I was waiting to say
Airwolf.
you had the Firebird
Airwolf.
and the Trans Am and Smokey and the Bandit.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
you
see a
saw
lot of that.
car,
If they,
you know what it was. So. Echo
yeah,
1.
if they, well, it's like now, it's like if they bring a car like to be iconic, they usually drag out an older model, whether it's a Mustang or a Charger or something like that, some muscle car or a Nova or a SS Nova or something like that. You don't see anything now because everything's like all plastic and shit.
yeah.
Well, the problem is they're so like against everything that those represented. That masculinity, that that alpha male,
Muscle
the
cars
muscle car.
equal
I mean,
hot chicks.
well,
I mean,
now
all the
they want
chicks
the chick to
go
drive the
drive
muscle
the
cars.
car.
Well, what do you think Fast and the Furious is such a popular and all the movies are shit? It harkens back to that day,
Oh shit!
That's the only reason people watch those movies is because it's a throwback,
I can't
All the
remember the
movies are
last
shit.
one of those
I mean,
films
they're
I saw.
Corvette Summer
Well,
with Luke Skywalker and his van down by the river.
Well, I was waiting to say, facing the A-Team eventually got a Corvette, didn't he? So
yeah, two-tone.
Yeah, but I heard about that.
85 and all.
They like the van.
yeah.
The funny thing too is in Magnum PI, the character TC, he had the helicopter, but he had a van that was made up in the same color scheme.
Same colors. Yeah, that's right.
Which I thought was freaking cool. I love those color schemes that they had.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Well, that's like a continuation of like Silver from the Lone Ranger, a trigger from Roy Rogers, that vehicular, the conveyance being as iconic as the person, you know. And so,
Oh yeah.
you know, I mean, they tried to get away from that, and you know, if there were somebody to come out with a show that starred an unrepentant alpha male with a hot car that, you know, solved people's problems, they would probably own Hollywood right now. I mean, they would probably have the highest ratings. Of course, they've canceled it after one season, but they still have.
Even in comics back in the day, and I'm talking about, you know, industry specific, like automotive. Like I did that one stream a few years back with, you know, 32 flavors of Nick Weiser, and we went over the comic that I have that's called oh shit, I just had a brain fart. Anyway, it was a comic book for cars, and the illustrator, it was a lot of artists that got together. It was car buffs, and so they made these short little stories in these comic books, and muscle cars with some, you know, muscle guys, and it was always the chicks. The chicks were always in it. This is the 1970s, so you know, that's right. It's called Hot Rod Cartoon Magazine, and it was a local thing out of California. Probably, I think it lasted probably from the mid 60s till about the mid 70s. And I have a copy of it. My only copy my brother got me, but for some reason the cover went missing several decades ago, and I was fortunate enough to find the actual rest of the magazine. But yeah, these guys were all car guys. They go to car shows. They had art, you know, had an art background, so they could draw and color and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the thing, and that's what they're trying to kill. They're trying to kill, like Bunny said, masculinity, or anything, anything close, you know, anything related to that, whether it's muscle cars, things like. I mean, look what happened to the Miss Hawaiian Tropic contest. It went poof like 10 years ago. They got rid of it. You know.
Now we have Miss Alabama.
Oh, that's right.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Nobody was confused about which one were the women at the Hawaiian Tropic contest. No. Now, not so much. Oh, God. No. No. Well, the bottom one down there of Time Profit.
325 General Lee's used to film the series. Dix Hazard just looked it up. Yep.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Those cars
that's why
are
they're
rare.
rare now. Yeah, that's why they're rare now.
Yeah.
Yep.
They also.
Oh yeah, Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Fall Guy. I've seen the first season of that.
Yeah, that's the movie that just came out.
Oh yeah,
right.
I haven't seen the film.
No classic cars anymore.
No, they're all crap.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, did I just say that?
You could say that out here, Abby. You do. You're aware of that, right?
Oh, that was a good show. The Highway
Conversation.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that one now.
Well, BJ and the Bear. Remember that
Red,
TV show? BJ and the Bear.
Freightliner,
Anybody?
Red and White Freightliner.
Yep. That show spawned the television series Sheriff Lobo.
No, it was not. It was not a K mag. It was not. A
No,
K-Mag.
no. Hot Rod Magazine. There was, there was a lot. Dude, California was the center of custom cars and everything for decades. And now it's shit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. Murder by Death. If you haven't seen it, see it.
Yeah, I'm quite annoyed actually.
Yeah,
I'm quite annoyed after talking about this and seeing some of the clips. I've really peed off that I didn't get to see it.
Well,
So stupid freaking YouTube. So I'll endeavor to check that out at some point. I think because it looked
you could
good.
probably pick it up on DVD somewhere.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
As long as it's not costing an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You know.
You use the
VJ
VPN. If you use the VPN, you could probably get around that.
You might have been, yeah.
I haven't got a VPN at this moment, so I did. And another thing that I thought of after the fact, of course, was if it was maybe up on Rumble, but it's of little use now.
Yeah.
It probably is. So
yeah, probably.
All right. Well,
okay.
we've spent
one last
hour and a half
message.
on this.
One last message.
One last message? Okay.
Good stuff.
Oh, no shit. Come on, Wall.
Man, the 70s. Just add another one of the 70s. Why for me personally, the 70s is my favorite. Now I just seeing this like a great comedy. Another example of why the 70s has so many great films in all different genres. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I mean, the old, they call it Let It Be, that's the Beatles made a song. That was one of their last on their album, Let It Be. And, yeah, long hair, beards, whatever. Dear, music was stolen from Superman.
All right, I'll upload a copy of Murder by Death, and I'll send a link to Cruel. He'll watch it before the day's out.
There we go. Cool. Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
Try and get that done.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to call it a day, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. Also, our special guest, PCAT. Thank you, sir, for spending some time with us out of your day.
No, I love being on with all you guys. Seriously, it's just fun. Like even after we were done talking about the movie, just chatting, random chat, thoughts that popped into our heads about great movies and performances and trivia. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. We try to have fun like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We try. Yeah.
We try. All right. Thanks to my panel, T-Bunny, Crual Birab, Abby Someone, and of course, special guest PCAT. Again, thank you all for spending some time with me today. And I don't know what I'm going to do next week, but I'll figure it out.
That's what he does.
We'll figure it out.
Figures things out.
I'll wing it.
Cryptids and Conspiracies is going to be talking about the Winchester House later on today.
Yeah, tonight. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We were going to talk about Freemasonry, but Abby sent me a video that scared the shit out of me, so I decided to.
Damn you, Abby!
Decided to back off of that one.
We're gonna do the Winchester House. That's
the most powerful organization in the whole entire world. Yeah, let's piss them off. Okay.
They're not gonna watch this stream. What are you worried about?
Yeah, right.
They watch
if
everything.
They're watching this, they got problems.
We'll do it later on. We'll do it
what
later
time is
on,
that going to be? What time is that going to be on Rumble? 7 p.m. Eastern?
p.m. EST.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
4 o'clock Pacific.
Be 6 p.m. CEN and 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and then
4 o'clock my time.
Yep.
In
Commie Land.
And probably tomorrow for Crual Birab.
Probably tomorrow.
You might get a drunk Abby tonight.
It'll be 12 o'clock for him. So.
Oh shit!
It'll be 12 o'clock for him. So there you go.
So
not quite tomorrow.
Yeah. PCAT, if you get a chance, if you're bored, scroll around Rumble. Both we'll be simulcasting that on both my channel under the same name, Wookie Fever Presents, and T Bunny's Telepathic Bunny Comics. Every Saturday night we do show Cryptids and Conspiracies, and so we have some fun.
Very
with that.
Nice.
Last Saturday, if you get a chance, go watch last Saturday's, because there was a discrepancy between the term parkour and parkour.
Hardcore.
Parkour.
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 Not parkour. Parkour.
I hear parkour. We're bringing that up again.
Hey, it was a fun subject.
Wookie has this thing with parkours.
Well, after living in
We've lost
trailer
Crual.
We're
parks,
talking about a guy with thigh-high
Moving-
boots jumping over fences.
Going, hey. Anyway,
hello.
thank you very much.
Yeah, we talked about Spring Heel Jack last Saturday.
He attempted to. Yeah.
Yeah, attempted to, and all the illustrations. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
It was
fallacy,
real.
Time Prophet.
It's a conspiracy. Yeah, dark horror. No, that's parkour.
Parkour?
Well, we know you won't be there, Time Prophet, but I re-upload it to YouTube
Wow.
after it clears. So
Really,
Put up,
bringing the audience there, Bunny.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We got to
After
get
I
out of
cut
here
off
because, yeah, there you go. Right. We got to get ready for the non-Freemason show at 4 o'clock.
I'll take that.
Again,
I'll take
thanks
that.
everybody.
I will take that.
Hey, playing it safe is smart.
No, that's what they want you to do.
We'll do it later. I just want to research it more.
We'll do it later. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully, we'll see
Up yours.
people who
Bye,
watch this
everyone.
are in. We'll see you over on Rumble. Hopefully, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.